not bad.
Do you remember the last episode?
Yeah.
When you mentioned about love tattooing?
Yeah.
And you remember I mentioned that we need to get that on a sticker?
Yeah.
Well, I got 100 of your face
Oh, fuck's sake, man.
printed on with just love tattooing.
That's, yeah.
I'll pop it on the screen.
That's amazing.
I'm going to put them everywhere.
That is amazing.
There you go, you can have half of
That's,
them. I can imagine that's what your sperm were like.
well, little hairy faces. Man. Do you know what would make them better, though? If they didn't have my face on them. No, that's funny.
But yeah. I'm gonna get that.
Good. No, I don't mind being the face of just love tattooing, I suppose.
yeah.
That's what we're all about.
Could be worse things. But yeah, I think we have, as you said earlier on, this is probably the episode that might get cancelled.
Well, I mean, this is the first episode that we've recorded since we've actually had some episodes out, which is quite interesting because we've had a little bit of feedback and stuff now, and we kind of know what people like and
which has been good.
Yeah, it's been good so far. Yeah, it's good.
And thanks to everybody that has been commenting and watching and stuff.
Yeah, it's been as more popular than I expected, and lots of positive feedback, which is good.
Yeah.
So now's the time to start getting
Ruin
some.
everything.
Yeah, let's get some negative feedback.
Set it ablaze. Yeah. So this episode we are talking about social media in tattooing.
Yeah.
So we're talking probably mainly scrap Facebook because it's pretty chill. More Instagram, TikTok, and how tattooing was before and how social media has changed the tattoo industry or moulded it to what it is now.
Yeah, I think especially in probably the last 2 to 3 years, it's made a massive effect on tattooing, hasn't it? Like, I think it's almost flipped from being a tool that we use almost to being a tool that uses us.
Definitely, and
in terms
that's
of
one thing that
content.
I want to mention first, because some people might not know how it was before. So we can briefly just touch on that at the minute.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you get tattooed? Let's say 15 years ago.
So that wasn't
long.
No, not that long. About the time that I started. So when I started, it was probably 80% walk-ins.
Yeah.
So you turned up on the day, you got tattooed. You know, you might have to sit and wait. Some days you might have to sit and wait for 2-3 hours. But I mean, when I started, we didn't even have the internet in the studio.
Yeah.
If you wanted to advertise, you maybe got some leaflets done every now and again. You know, flyers, things like that. You'd take out an advert in the back of Skin Deep magazine, Total Tattoo magazine, stuff like that. You'd send. The only way that people would see your work other than coming into the studio is you would send photos away to Skin Deep magazine. And like when I very first did that, I actually sent printed out photographs in an envelope.
Oh, really?
To the magazine, yeah. And then obviously after that you would email them and things like that. But yeah, like.
So yeah, I mean, obviously you used to walk in. There wasn't even messaging. There wasn't messaging through an app or anything like that as well.
No.
I mean, like, I don't want to come across sounding like a dinosaur when it comes to this sort of stuff, but this is the way it used to be. It was normal human interaction.
Yeah.
It was cool, like, you know.
And I would say, like, I had a portfolio of sorts. We would get them printed out and put up on, you know, you'd get a picture frame like this and stick loads of photographs in, and it would be stood in the window up on the wall, and you'd maybe refresh that every 6 months or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this instant, every single day, update your portfolio kind of thing. Yeah, and then even when it started to become more bookings and stuff like that, I was fully booked up before social media made a big impact.
Mm-hmm.
MySpace was obviously the first thing that I used to post on.
Yeah, I remember that.
But even that, it wasn't like an online portfolio like what it is now. It was like, yeah.
So I mean, obviously, you used to go in, get tattooed, and it was sort of word of mouth as well. I remember going into studios and getting tattooed because I'd seen it on my mates.
Yeah.
Again, the first thing was like MySpace and Bebo. You didn't really post your new tattoo or anything like that on that site, you know.
No, it wasn't a thing. I mean, I think when you think about it, the world was a totally different place. You didn't post half the things that we post now.
Yeah.
You know, I remember my gran and granddad like phoning me up. Oh, we're back off our holidays. Do you want to come round and see the pictures? And you'd go and sit for 3 hours and look through someone's photos. Yeah. Now you just bang them on Facebook or whatever, and the whole world can see it, sort of thing. But yeah, I suppose everything has changed in that respect.
Oh, mega. And although we are going to touch on all these sort of latest trends and all this sort of daft stuff and that as well, Instagram, it has been an amazing tool. It has been an amazing tool for tattooing. Like
it's revolutionised it. And to be honest, I wouldn't have been able to make the move from England to Scotland and become so busy so quick if it wasn't for social media.
Yeah.
But that was me using it to my advantage.
Yeah.
In the way that I wanted it to work. Mm-hmm. And I think as this algorithm thing has changed more over time, and you know our reach gets throttled, mm-hmm. and they want you to pay more and more and more, you know, it is getting harder for us to use it in that way.
Yeah. So I mean, this is obviously takes us into following and how, just as you sort of said, like paying for it. Do you think that people are chasing followers these days?
Yeah, so I mean, this is, I think, the inspiration for this conversation with us really is the verses of using social media to promote your work, but the work still being the main focus. And what I would say is people using the work and using the client to promote their social media. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's kind of got a bit mixed up and a bit messed up, really.
It has. I mean, people are probably, as you said, I think it was in the last episode, they're probably putting more attention into basically the effort. They're putting more effort into the
presentation.
Yeah. the reel or the TikTok video of the tattoo more than the tattoo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about the reel or the video now, not so much about the tattoo.
Yeah, and I think when you really break it down, the crazy thing about that is that tattooing is you creating a piece of work or a body of work that has this great lifespan.
Yeah.
And for me, every second of that lifespan is important. What does it look like now? What does it look like in 3 months? Yeah. What does it look like in 3 years? What does it look like in 25 years? Yeah. And that's all important. And I think what social media does, or specifically like Reels and TikTok, where it's fast content, like being quickly consumed, you're reducing this amazing thing into something that is this tiny piece of content that in 24 hours is forgotten.
Yeah, forgotten, completely forgotten. So they're basically just chasing the likes.
And then it's
the likes.
It's like one thing that I thought about that. I thought it was almost for me an idea for another video, but I think it kind of feeds into this. Is the pressure that puts on us as artists to produce content every day.
No,
to a standard as well. It's not just producing the work every day, but it's also producing the content.
Yeah. So I mean, taking that back to right back to the start again, it was flash on the wall, and artists also never had social media to deal with as well.
Yeah.
Like, it must have been amazing in a sense, because now we're obviously expected to create something that's custom for each person, mm-hmm. and then we're having to do like Reels or you know, TikTok videos or whatever as well. Yep. It's like it's too much in a day sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, just it's a distraction. It can be I mean, I say it's a distraction. It's not a distraction for me because I don't let it be.
I think it is a distraction.
Yeah.
like there's sometimes where I've like started to even, before I've even started to like tattoo my client, I'm like, I'll just take a quick video of that, and then I'm like, I just want to get the tattoo done, and I wonder how my client's feeling. And by the way, if any clients are watching, I want to know how you feel about people, like, or your tattooist sitting taking all these videos and people coming over and helping taking the video and shining the light and wipe and all this sort of stuff. I want to know how clients feel, because again, that is the most important thing. It's not the reel or the video or whatever at the end of the day. It's the tattoo and the client and how they feel. Let us know.
I totally agree. I totally agree, and that's the big part of this for me is I don't feel comfortable using the client solely. It's like the client just becomes the conduit, the conveyor of the piece of art.
Yeah.
And the actual person that it belongs to doesn't really matter anymore. And it's you're using that to then build followers or create this content. And man, when you're saying that there, I'm just thinking how many half-assed videos I've got in my phone where I've started the day going, right, today's the day, I'm going to make a reel. And then I start, I might film the stencil peel, or I might take some photos of my station.
Yeah.
And then I just feel like a twat halfway through and leave it. And I get to the end of the day and I'm like, I didn't bother doing anything with that. And then the few reels that I have made are so half-assed because it's just like, it might be a tiny little bit at the start of the day. And then I've tried to stretch out like some pictures and a bit of a video and like cut it all together to try and make a reel out of it. But really, it's just the same thing of the finished tattoo, like in different ways. It's just
some of the reels I absolutely love are the ones that where tattooists are deliberately messing everything up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going over the wall. They've spilt the wall.
Yeah, I like a piss take. Or like there are people that there's people that use it really successfully. Like, I like the ones where it might show you a stencil for like 2 seconds, and then the next one is them just wiping and the tattoo's finished.
Like bam,
yeah.
bam.
Yeah, and it's like, that's cool because you get to see it. I think I mentioned this in the last one. If I'm watching for 10, 15 seconds and I haven't seen any of the tattoo, I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the actual, the content itself is part of the problem, but I think it's almost just it's the trends that we follow and the value in them. That's the big thing for me. It's like people are doing this because they think that's what they have to do, but what value does it bring?
It's just likes and followers. Likes and followers.
Now, in your opinion, do likes and followers equate to clients?
Definitely not. Definitely not. We've seen, I mean, so we're roughly on the same amount of 1,000 followers or whatever, right? And we know that we are booked up.
Yeah.
I know tattooists that have got way more followers than us that aren't booked up at the minute.
Yeah.
That are chasing it week by week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
it's sad. It's sad.
It is sad, and this is the thing that I really, really wanted to talk about, and what kicked it off was people that are following these. I'm not on TikTok, but I think it's TikTok that start these trends. Look at how much I can do in 6 hours. Bang, leg sleeve.
And we've seen them healed. And they're terrible.
So, yeah, some of them. But to be honest, irrespective of how good the work is, I'm sure some of them are amazing. What's the fucking point? Like, I don't... What is the goal in that? It is just feeding into an algorithmic trend that is big at the moment. So then you building a fake following based on a really quick trend.
Yeah.
And we've seen this with people that build a massive following really quickly off doing faddy stencil peels, foamy wipes, stuff like that. And I'm not saying that they're bad tattooists and they can't back it up, because that's not the case at all. A lot of these people are amazing tattooists, but it creates a hollow following.
It does.
It's just all you're playing into is those people that like to just sit and do this all day long. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
They're not clients.
No, they're not. No. It's not. It's not got that human connection that it used to have.
And it's turning. It's these people. Wow, look at what I can do in 6 hours. It's turning that piece of fucking work that you've put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah.
Like, how can that be fulfilling for you? And then the next day, you have to do it all over again just to get that fucking dopamine hit.
And this is the thing as well, is right. The tattooist has obviously sat there for 6 hours, and they've done this huge piece, right? If they slowed it down and done half of that, I guarantee the work would be 10 times better.
Yeah, and this is the thing. If you, like I just said there, by a lot of these people aren't bad, but if that's what you can do in that time, how good could you be?
Yeah, and
how fucking good could you be?
It doesn't fucking impress me at all.
No, it doesn't impress me because I mean, you're a quick tattooist. I'm a quick tattooist. Cam's a quick tattooist. We're all quick. It's never been, to me. That's not a selling point. It's not a commodity.
Never.
I think what it does if you brag about being quick all the time is, one, it puts expectations on your client. And me and Cam spoke about this morning because Cam fell foul of this once. He did a sleeve on a guy it was just that perfect Goldilocks situation of the guy was small and skinny.
Yeah.
The stuff was big and bold.
Yeah.
And he did it in like 4 hours, a whole outer sleeve. Mm-hmm. And he made the mistake of putting sleeve in 4 hours. And then for 3 months after that, everyone went, "Can I have a 4-hour sleeve, please?" Yeah, and then you've got that like.
It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. I mean, at the end of the day, if I've done a tattoo like fairly quick, I'll be like, "Oh, we did that. We smashed that one out quick, and that's it." Yeah. And it's kept between me and the client as well. It's not, look how much I can do in half a day, or whatever. I'm sorry, but a lot of these tattoos that I've seen healed, or all these reels, I've seen some of them healed. They're fucking shit.
Yes, and do you know what? It's probably not even the skill. I think, and this goes right back into the fucking apprenticeship thing that we spoke about, man, and why it is so important to have the experience. Is that maybe 2 out of 10 people getting that much done in one go will heal well.
Yeah.
Not many people can take that level of fucking trauma and have it healed. So it opens up a whole world of fucking infection and aftercare and
So I mean, this sort of leads into one of the next things within that as well, with these huge tattoos. Usually they're realism. Usually they're black and grey, right?
It's all of a type.
Yeah.
Stuff that you can, use a fucking mag that's this big and just go like that. Like, paintbrushed. Fucking.
So, with this as well, and you
might have to cut that, by the way.
Don't cut it. We're not cutting anything. This is the one we go. Man. This is the one when we get cancelled.
I know what the next fucking clip is, eh?
So, basically, when it comes to these big tattoos and stuff like that, right, and what we're trying to say is that the client is being missold something. They're being missold this idea of this massive, nice, good bit of work, right?
Yeah.
What's the deal with all the using the filters and stuff like that as well?
Well, that's it. I mean, for a start, the presenting the work, they're aiming for this ideal, aren't they? Of it presented exactly the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, with a lot of this, especially the black and grey stuff, take one look at that and go, that's not real.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that black's that black. It might be filters on your phone. I mean, and we all try to take the best picture possible. There's nothing wrong with doing that, I don't think. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to present your work in a certain way.
Yeah.
And we all know the algorithm likes it if you present it in a certain way and this, that and the other. But I just don't think that should be it's almost like they're thinking about that, how they're going to present it before.
Yeah.
They've actually...
And it's sort of what you mentioned before as well, is that people show you their tattoo on their phone. They don't go, roll up the leg sleeve or that. They show it on their phone.
Yeah. Because
it's grey and faded and everything because it's done so quick. and it is
I mean,
literally
I don't know
down
if
to filters.
I don't know if I mentioned this on the last one, but I've got a client who had been to a studio, and one of his gripes about being in this other studio was the fact that it took them so long to get going on a morning because of the videos and this and that. And he said everyone in the studio was the same, and every artist was coming around with their cameras, and he'd had this piece done that, don't get me wrong, it's a nice.
I know who you're on about.
It's a decent sleeve. I've done some touch-up work on it for him and that, but the main reason I touched it up was because the books closed for 3.5 million years or whatever it is. But it was fine. But the artist posted it on social media, and he walked into the pub that night, and all his mates went, "Oh mate, I've seen your tattoo online. Let me see it." And the first thing he had to say to them was, lads, don't get your hopes up. It's not as good as it looks on Instagram. I'm like, that's not right. You shouldn't be having to say that to folk.
It's not, man. It's not. I mean, like I've always said to my clients as well, is that I want someone to look from the other side of the bar or something and go, "That's sick." You know, that black's black, or you know what I mean. Like, these people won't get that.
But the thing is, you know what real life saturated black looks like. It's still not like as black as your hoodie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, like, yeah, you've got heel black. That's not like sheet black, but it's nice and smooth, and you know, that's what it should look like.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's social media. We have unrealistic standards being pushed towards us every day.
Yeah.
But it's okay in other areas of the world for us to go, oh, actually, that's not right. That all you ever show us is really beautiful people or really amazing lifestyles.
Yeah.
You know, so why can't we say, you know, that's not right. We shouldn't be showing that. We should be showing the real thing.
Yeah.
For the client.
And you know what? Surely the artist must know as well. Surely they must know that the real tattoo is nowhere near as good as the photo.
Of course.
Surely.
Of course they do.
I'm sorry, if you don't, you're fucking blind.
Of course they do. And it's got nothing to do with it being as good or not as good. It is showing something that is unrealistic.
Yeah.
We all know that. So why can't we all just admit that? Admit it. Admit that you edit your photos. Then you can post them all you want.
Yeah.
But don't tell your clients that's what they're getting.
Yeah.
This is the thing with me. When you look at someone and every picture is like, oh, amazing, amazing, amazing. What does that client think when they look in the picture and they see a good tattoo, but the real life version of it that isn't? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like, that's a shame.
What if they?
That's a shame.
You know, the vast majority of these clients, they won't know any different.
No.
All they see is tattoos on Instagram.
Yeah.
They think all tattoos look like that.
Yeah.
So they think when me and you post a tattoo and then someone else, they just think, oh, they're not as good as them. Mm-hmm. Right? No, we are. Mm-hmm. We just don't edit the fuck out of our photos.
And that's when it comes down to following as well. And funnily enough, I had a conversation recently where someone said that they would actually go to someone that had a bigger following over someone that had a smaller following. Like, that's mental as well.
That is mental. But I mean,
look at the work.
Yeah.
Look at the work. I would happily go to someone with 200 followers compared to like 200,000 followers.
But the thing is, like that guy I just mentioned, and we've seen this a lot recently, is it draws people in initially. Does it keep
fires them the fuck back out?
Exactly, man. Because it's that whole thing of like you watching somebody making a YouTube, watch someone on YouTube filming themselves. You're like, oh, that looks cool. And then you catch that guy in the street, walking down the street with his camera, talking to a camera. You go, that guy looks like a fucking idiot. And it's that same thing of like, oh, this looks great online, but then have to sit there and live it while someone's taking fucking 5,000 videos of you. Like, oh, now I'm going to wipe this, and now I'm going to... It's like, just...
It's mad.
Yeah, and I mean, it is crazy.
So there's a ton of trends in tattooing now in Reels and TikTok.
Yeah. Do
you remember? I can't remember what tattooist it was. Do you remember the guy? I think it was a guy or a girl. Had a really nice back piece. Remember the scissors?
Cutting the
t-shirt. Excuse me, mate. I just need to cut your t-shirt to reveal your tattoo. Like what? What?
Yeah. I mean,
I seriously hope that was a Primark t-shirt. Like,
it's just. I get some of them. You know what I mean? People use whatever to sell. And I mean, I think one of the things that you kind of made a note of that we were going to come on to is the unnecessary sexualization of clients.
Mad. I don't get it. I honestly do not understand this. I don't understand how it's always women that are needing to like be pretty much fucking naked, like, just for like the tiniest fucking tattoo somewhere, and they're having to, like, some of them are like holding flowers and doing all of this shit. Why? It's taking it away from the tattooing.
I mean, and like you see, a lot of these artists that are like well known for that, I've noticed, like, they'll get a lot of comments off people going, why? What's the need? Why do you do that? And a lot of the times, the actual clients will comment on it saying, it's my body, I can do what I want. And that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But for me, that's still the artist. Even if they only attract clients that are 100% comfortable with that, and that's what they want to do, it's still using people in a way to create content. You then, instead of you making your work accessible to everybody that wants to get it, you're now saying, I'll only tattoo you if you're on board with this content side of things.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what about the person that just wants to get tattooed by you?
Yeah,
I'm sure there's people looking at that going, I'd really love to get tattooed by them, but I don't want to be shown in that way, or I don't want to.
Yeah. Or they might not even get picked because they're fucking ugly. Like.
I don't even know. Like, I mean,
I don't know.
We're getting
making assumptions.
Well, this is it. I mean, we're getting into the territory there where things are getting flipped on the head. Are artists choosing their clients based? And we all hear of artists that will only tattoo certain skin types, certain body areas because it's the way they want to present their work.
Yeah.
You know. I think even that in itself, I understand people not wanting to tattoo certain body areas because they're not comfortable doing them, or they don't think they can do the best work.
Yeah.
But because it sacrifices some of the quality of the work, I think that's, you know what I mean? We all know that we can't do a tattoo on the side of the neck exactly the same as we can do on the forearm.
Definitely. Yeah.
But it's not for us to say, nah, bro, just get it on your forearm.
Yeah.
Because I want to post it on Instagram.
Yeah.
You just suck it up and think, well, it's going on a neck today.
Yeah.
Like, just get better at tattooing necks. Maybe that's the way forward rather than.
Definitely. Yeah, with the whole clients undressing and stuff like that, I just don't understand it, really. I don't. Like, it's just for.
But the thing is, you get the ones that are out there and do it. The ones that are more, I don't want to say sneaky, but, you know, somebody gets a tattoo like this here, but for some reason they have to be like 8 feet away from them to take
and
the
the
photo.
girl's wearing a bra to get her forearm tattooed.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that.
Yeah, that is
stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid, and we all know.
We all know why they're doing it.
Well, we all know sex sells. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that is as old as fucking time. It's worked in every form of media, magazines, stuff like that. Is it relevant to what we do? Is it fuck?
No.
Like, do you want your client you want your client to come into the studio,
feel
male, female, whatever, feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, it's God, I don't know. I'd hate to think that anybody ever felt that way. I mean, I still ask every single client, is it okay if I take a photo?
Yeah. Do
you mind if I take a photo?
Mm-hmm.
And I've never had anyone say no.
I've had clients before where I'm like, if you don't, I'll there you go. I'll give them the phone. I was like, if you don't like any, just delete them.
Yeah.
Like, just delete them. It's fine by me. It's okay. I'm not caring. At the end of the day, if I don't post it, I'm not here to just post. I'm here to tattoo.
Yeah, and that's full circle. There we go, full circle.
Yeah,
like
it's as simple as that.
Like, that tattoo is gonna last way longer than that photo.
Exactly.
I mean, we all have days where we take a bad photo. We forget to take a photo. The phone dies. You know what? My phone dies. I just go, fuck it. I'll see you next time.
Yeah.
I don't try to scramble to get a photo or whatever. That tattoo's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Instagram can wait.
And that's what matters.
Yeah, of course it does.
Matters.
100%.
And one of the other things that I don't understand as well is that tattooists bragging about how much they make on these tattoos. So basically,
this is a TikTok trend.
Basically, tattooists are posting £600 tattoo, £500 tattoo, or you know, something like that. Where does that come into play again? With, I know that these people might see it as they're given maybe information. This is how much this costs. This is how much it costs for me to do something like this.
Yeah,
But it comes across more of in a balmy way.
The thing is, it is. You're right in what you say. It is that like this social media trend at the moment of like giving everybody every bit of information from your life.
Yeah.
This is transparency or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't get it. Like, especially when it's really expensive, and you just think, fuck, is that what you're charging for that? Like, you know, I showed you that one the other day where that girl literally does like semicircle lines, or she'll do like a line that goes on one person's arm onto the next person's arm, and it was like $1,200 for like a fucking line.
With love, I'll do it for 50 quid.
Yeah, and it's like, but this is where I often wonder, and I don't know if you're the same, if it is just me being out of touch with the way people are. Do people like that? Do people think, oh, that's fucking cool, I'm going to go and pay all that money? Like, do they think, oh, that's expensive, so it must be good?
Yeah.
Are everyone looking at it like us, just going, what a fucking idiot? Like,
so, I mean, this is the thing, is that although we don't, obviously you get a lot of tattooists as well that are like, come tattoo this chest with me, come do this with me, come set up, I'm setting up for my tattoo today. We're not like show offy in that way.
yeah.
And I think it just says a million things about the two different sort of people that we've got in the industry.
Yeah, and this is one thing we briefly kind of touched on, isn't it, before the camera started rolling, about what we wanted to talk about. And I think there's two, possibly three different ways of approaching this, and types of people approaching this. I think there's people like us that we're still trying as hard as we can to use social media to our benefit, to not let it take over our lives, and just give it enough to, you know, keep our work out there and you know, play the game a little bit.
Yeah.
And we know,
because we all have to.
Yeah, we have to. We have to.
Yeah.
But we know that the amount of effort that we put in brings us exactly the same, if not more, clients than the people that are going really hard. I think that's one facet of it. I think the next one is, I think a lot of younger tattoos that have come in probably like since the pandemic or just before that think that this is the only way.
Yeah.
And the heart's in the right place, and you know, they're pushing in the same direction as us, but they just don't know any different. They think this is what they have to do. And like, I hope these people watch this video because I think the message should be, this is not what you have to do. You don't. I was fully booked before social media existed. How the fuck did I manage that? You do not have to fucking sell your soul. You don't have to put out these unrealistic trends that all the artists around you can't keep up with.
Yeah.
You don't, because it's just having a negative effect on tattooing and your fucking brothers in tattooing. That's the thing. You're shitting on other people's. Yeah. Like when you're going, oh, look at what I can do in 6 hours. The person that takes 12 hours to do that, all their clients are then suddenly going, well, why can't you do that?
Yeah.
When the times are relevant, then, sorry, but I know you want to say something, but just, and I think the third type of person is the person that genuinely just wants to get fucking famous, right? And is using, and I want to say this without mincing my words in any way, shape or form, so people categorically understand what I'm saying. They are using tattooing and they are using their clients as a commodity to their own ends to inflate their own ego and their own online presence. They are tattoo influencers, hashtag fucking wag life, whatever all that shit is, right?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Like that is the issue. And they're the people that don't like us and think that we're just gatekeeping or whatever, when we're sat here yet again, we're sat here yet again putting our points across, giving a considered conversation about the pros and cons, and using our wealth of experience to fucking say to people, don't stress.
Yeah.
Like,
take it easy.
Take it easy.
Focus on your work.
Yeah.
Not on your phone.
Yeah. And just you think about your client, man.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
think about the client.
And your own personal progress.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the things, like, I want to say is obviously that people coming into the industry and you saying that this is what they think that they need to do.
Yeah. It's because it's all they see.
They don't, and that's the thing as well, is that this social media these days is obviously affecting people's mental health.
Yeah.
So obviously, you want to take something sort of negative, turn it into a positive. You don't have to do all of this.
I don't think it is. Don't think overall that it is negative, and I think everybody's expectations for us on this podcast was that we were just gonna shout and moan about things, and we're not. If we've got a problem, then we would like to think that we're providing a solution as well. It's not all bad, and like I just said, I think the vast majority of people they're in the same place as us, or they want the same thing as us. They're just trying to go about it in a different way, and we're here to say you don't need to. Yeah. If you want to keep doing that, then that's fine. The social media, the train of social media is not going to slow down.
Not at all.
But what is happening is there's becoming this divergence in tattooing, and it needs to just come back together a little bit.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be doing things that are basically shitting on other people. The faster you learn in tattooing that you're not in competition with your colleagues.
No.
I come from a studio. I started out in a time where it felt like you were in competition with fucking everyone, and it's a horrible way to be.
Yeah.
You're not in competition with the people that you work with. You're not in competition with the other studios in your town.
No.
You're not in competition on social media. There's no right or wrong. There's no winning or losing. It is just like you just said there. Focus on your own work and your own progression, and present it in the way you want to present it. Yeah. And you don't need to lose yourself.
Definitely not, because it seems like there is a lot of people that are all just the same now. Yeah. They're all just robots.
Aye.
It's all
the same
factory.
Thing. It's a factory. It's a factory of tattoo and content, and the work becomes, even though they might be producing great work, it's repetitive.
Level.
Yeah. They're repeating the work because they know the algorithm likes that. And that's it.
You're a slave to the machine.
Yeah, we both know that if you do 100 tattoos in one style and you post something different, the algorithm shits itself and you get no fucking likes for however long. Yeah. But then is it like, would you not rather that you just put your true self out there?
Yeah. And we see it day in, day out.
Yeah.
Day in, day out with people. And it is a shame. It is a shame because there is a lot of good tattoos out there that are having to be a slave to that sort of machine.
Yeah, and I think most tattooists will accept at the moment that we're in a bit of a downturn in tattooing. I think worldwide, and I think if you were so reliant on that machine, you can't make it the be all and end all of your career. You need some you need some substance.
Yeah.
You need we both have built that clientele, that true human connection to our clients.
Yeah.
That when the rough times come, we know we've got that depth of clientele that it'll just keep us going.
Yeah.
If you are relying on a trend, when that trend vanishes from the algorithm, when that's no longer the thing, it's
because
slope,
people come into the industry and they do start with these trends and they do the one style and such, and the styles we've seen come and go. All the time.
Fucking sure as shit.
As soon as
every
you
style.
cannot dot a mandala because it's not relevant anymore, you're fucked.
Yeah. I mean, I've probably already mentioned this, and I know we watched a video of I think it was a guy in Canada, wasn't it? That was kind of speaking people through what's going on at the moment and stuff like that. And I think I don't know where I was going with that now. I've lost my train of thought. Like you say, it's pigeonholing yourself in that one style.
Yeah.
And then not having the clientele to, or when things change, people just assuming that you don't do that anymore or whatever.
And that's
and
it.
it's like,
Yeah.
put yourself out there exactly as you want to be.
Yeah.
Not as, it's almost like people are putting themselves out there as they think the world wants them to be.
Yeah.
They're feeding what
Not what they want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, recently I've over the years I've done, I don't know how many sleeves of mandalas, dot work, patterns, all that sort of stuff, and I got into tattooing because I wanted to draw and be creative, and yeah, you can do that with that style, obviously.
Yeah.
But on these reels and stuff, it all looks the same to your average person.
And the thing is, we all get pulled in a direction, every now and again we'll do something that, like, I've been there. You do something just as a course of your daily work, and it gets more popular than you were expecting it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're sucked into this whole thing of like, but it's a job at the end of the day. We're doing a job. We're making a living. If that's what people want, then that's what you give them.
Yeah.
Like, and that, I think that's another part of it. Like yeah, it's all right being who you want to be and people loving that or whatever, but then it's also being what your client wants you to be, and that's a fucking huge part of it for me. Like,
yeah.
Like, don't forget that the most important person in this equation is the client.
Yeah.
I said this to somebody online, and the response was fucking priceless. Like, it was the perfect quote to go with the whole ethos of this fucking whole podcast, right? It was, I said that tattooing to me, between me and my client, is still sacred.
Yeah.
Like, when you come down to it, you are marking somebody's body for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And whether that is the most trivial thing, a joke, or whatever, you still got that. You've still been tasked with the important thing of putting it on their body.
Yeah.
And it's, you've got to treat it as such.
Yeah.
And I said that to someone online, and their reply was, come off it. Tattooing isn't sacred anymore. I did such and such fine line tattoo for £400 the other day with a pink pen machine. And I think they thought that, they reiterated the pink pen machine bit, and I think they thought that I was some kind of loyal to the coil old schooler that was going to go, how dare you use a pen machine? Like, I use a pen every day pretty much.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you just told me that you did a fucking little banger and took £400 off someone, and that you didn't think there was anything sacred about it.
Like, one of the hardest at times money wise for people as well.
Yeah, like, this is another massive thing. Like, respect the work you're doing on your client. Respect the fucking effort that your client takes to be here. Like, you know what I mean? Some people are spending half of their month's wages or more on one day sit. Some people are saving up for 4, 5, 6 months just to afford a session.
Yeah.
Like, don't then go, oh, I charge this for it, I charge that for it. Like, fuck you. Like,
wonder what the client would think if they knew that was said.
Yeah,
that would be an interesting point of view to hear from the client.
I would love to hear from clients on a lot of these things, because, like we say, we've had these people coming through that are like saying, you know, I've been to this studio and they're just taking videos and filming me and that all the time, and like, fuck
people
this.
This is another thing. People come in and say this all the time.
Aye.
We know countless amount of people that have came in, and other tattooists that have mentioned that when they've been to other studios that they've said, fuck me, all they're doing is just making TikTok videos. They're hardly tattooing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we hear this all the time.
Yeah.
And surely we're not the only ones.
No. Like, I mean, what the client wants is they want the tattoos to be the guy like me who forgets to take his video halfway through, you know, sets out with good intentions and then gets so engrossed in the tattoo that gets to I get to the end of the day, I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't make a reel today.
And then they're annoyed at you because you didn't post it.
yeah. But fuck, it's just like, I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. Like, tattooing, whether it's populist, whether it's mainstream, you know, whether it's part of a massive part of our culture now, whether every man and his dog has a tattoo, it is still fucking sacred. You are still marking that person's body permanently
for the rest of their life.
Whether you believe that they can have it lasered or covered or whatever,
Yeah.
you should not be even entering into that thought. You should be fucking putting every part of your fucking soul into that piece of work. And if you think that makes me an old school fucking gatekeeper, then that is the fucking cross that I will die on, right? Because fucking yeah, like I'm never ever going to use. I'm never going to use my client as a way of making myself feel more important. Like.
No.
With this, like, it's great. We live in a great time where we can kind of do what we want, and we do get to do loads of cool shit.
Yeah.
That is true, but we're still this fucking servant to the client.
Yeah.
It's a service industry.
Yeah. It's mad.
You wanna fucking do what you want. Buy a fucking canvas and sit at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then charge people £10,000 for it if you want.
You could do that.
Yeah, of course you could.
Yeah.
Of course you could. And then you could make 1 million reels out of it, and we've got to that point, haven't we, where it actually seems fucking absurd.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I want to see what goes in behind the scenes of these reels as well. Do you know? Like people actually film themselves, like setting up the camera, setting up the phone and stuff like that. And then I'll wrap up my machine and then they'll run back and better press stop.
Honestly, the times when I've tried to do stuff like that, I just feel like a fucking tit. Do you know, even saying to a client, I'm just going to film a bit of a time lapse today, and they're like, you can see them, like, certain clients are on board, and like we are getting more people that, especially younger people, it's part of the way of life now.
Yeah.
Like, it is normalised, and
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. So do you think people actually do go to people because they do have high followings? Like, they do have however many thousands worth of like followers. Do you think people actually buy into that? Because I've seen people that have been going to one studio and then they've went to another studio and I'm like, eh?
So I think probably, yeah. But then, is that important? Like, are the people getting... And I mean, this is, like I said, I put so much focus on the client. So I don't want this to come across as kind of dissing the client or whatever, but I mean, are they getting tattooed for the right reasons, if that's all they're bothered about? Are they just a little bit misguided? Do they not know that this isn't what it's all about?
No, I've got so many people that have mentioned when they've came in, have you seen that person? Can you see have you seen what they can do in a day or in 6 hours and that? So
you get that.
It works.
That. Yeah, it does work. Of course it works. But like I say, it gets people through the door. Does it keep them coming through the door? Maybe. I would love to know the exact kind of statistics, because I reckon the same percentage of people who are the tattooists that are just in it for the fame are probably the same percentage of clients that want that kind of, you know, the reality TV type fucking tattooing. I think it's that you're always going to get people that buy into that. You know, we all know people who live their entire lives by social media. Yeah. You know, they post every holiday as if they're like a travel fucking vlogger or whatever and stuff. Like, those people are out there.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's all, for me, it's all substance. Like, where's the substance?
Yeah. Like,
the people that argued against me about this online didn't have anything to say of any substance. They could only repeat things that they'd heard, old school, gatekeeping. I hit them with loads of fucking, all these things that we're talking about now, no comebacks whatsoever. Like, there's no substance, there's no thought behind it, there's no they think that being able to knock out a good piece of work is all that matters. And I mean, it ultimately, I suppose it is, but is it worth it if it's not going to last for 20 years?
Yeah.
Is it worth it if you were making design choices purely based on how well it photographs, which we also see people doing? Yeah. You know, we all know people that won't let a tattoo wrap around a body part because they're not going to get a good photo, which in turn absolutely fucks someone's sleeve up, because you end up with one of those sleeves where everything's like square on,
you've got the one line down there or something.
Yeah, and that's it. And then what they did was they did that, and then they invented a fucking style called patchwork, just to get around it. I just thought of that there. I'm like, that's what they're doing. That must be what they're doing.
Fucking patchwork.
Also known as getting tattooed.
Just getting tattooed.
Just getting tattooed. Yeah. Just getting tattooed.
It's men. It's just men. I think this is one of the things as well, is that people have been making up their own sort of terms and stuff.
I have to clarify though now with clients, because people go, oh, have you seen those patchwork tattoos? And I go, oh, fuck off. And then they go, oh, those ones that look like embroidery. I'm like, oh yeah, they're actually cool. They're cool. The other ones, you mean that? Not the prison tattoos.
That's what they should be called, prison tattoos.
Well, that's what I used to call them.
That's what that's what it,
They're like those old books you used to get, Russian prison tattoos that are just all outlines of. Yeah. And it's I mean it's a style.
That's what they should be called, prison tattoos.
There's nothing patchwork about it, really.
I remember that meme that I posted of that. The guy that was walking in to get walking in to get patchwork tattoos. He was wearing like patchy jeans or something like that. Yeah. So what about buying followers? Because I don't really think that's so much of a thing anymore, is it?
No, that was a thing.
I got blocked for calling someone out when they bought followers. You know who it is.
Yeah.
I can't see anything now. Like and yet people will be buying.
Is that not the person that's blocked everybody in the tattoo industry?
Yeah.
Scotland's favourite fucking.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to give that person any fucking airtime, to be honest.
No. I'm blocked from seeing anything on that. Like literally because literally made like a joke. It was literally, we knew them as sort of a mate.
The thing is, it's like I think Instagram particularly did a really good job of clamping down on that, because they had those big culls. I remember when there was some of these huge, like when a huge following was actually a huge following. Yeah. Some of these huge tattoos that lost like 40,000 followers overnight, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't realize there were so many bots on Instagram."
Yeah, fuck off. But it's mad, people wasting their money again to the machine. You know what I mean? Like throwing away their money for someone in a different country to start following them.
Essentially, is it not just all the same thing though? Because you still, whether the people that are following you are real or not, it's how many of them are potential clients.
This is the thing, right? No matter whether you've got 25,000, 70,000, 100,000, 250,000 followers, there is not going to be 250,000 people outside your door in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Waiting to get tattooed, like the bloody Walking Dead. No. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like clawing at the door.
I mean, and this has always been my issue with people that brag about how far ahead that they're booked as well. It's like we can only all be so busy.
Yeah.
Like whether
you do so much in a day.
Whether you're constantly booked for a week solid, or constantly booked for a year solid, those two people are exactly as busy as each other.
Exactly.
Now, I have been booked solid for, I mean, when I was down south, it was kind of patchy at times, just because of the area and stuff. But ever since I moved to Dundee, I have, touch wood, fucking thank the Lord, I have been booked solid various lengths of time since then, for 8.5 years or whatever it's been now.
Yeah.
Booked solid. Sometimes it's 2.5, 3 months. Sometimes it's, I think 9 months is about the most I've ever got up to. 9 months ahead. And to be honest, that's fucking stressful. I hate being that far ahead.
It is shit.
But for 8.5 years, I have been
always in work.
Booked solid.
Yeah.
With my, I started
consistent.
I started in Venus Inc. with about 1,200 followers on Instagram. I'm now up to just over 5,000 followers, right? But I'm
still the same.
I'm booked solid.
Yeah.
So what more could I possibly want from social media than that? What more could anybody want?
Yeah, because surely that's the thing. Surely
It's
that's
the end game, isn't it?
Surely that's what you're aiming for.
It's an advertising tool to bring you real life clients.
But you're not going to get, as I said, you're not going to get these 100,000 followers knocking on your door in the morning.
No, of course not.
So, like, for people that are looking,
and even if you let your books get 2 years ahead, still not any busier than me.
Yeah.
Or anyone, like I say, anyone that's booked a week consistently.
Yeah. So I mean, the people that are looking from the outside, whether it be clients or people wanting to come in as an apprentice of that, literally, it still doesn't matter if that person that you're aiming to get tattooed off of or want to apprentice under, it doesn't matter how many followers they have got. Don't look at that number at the top of the screen. Look at the work.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what, these days, I want to find the guy that's got 10 followers and that's booked 3 months in advance. That is the person who everybody should be going to see.
Winning, by the way.
Yeah. And I mean, there's plenty of tattoos. Look at fucking Philip Blue, man. He's never done social media.
Yeah, he's not on Instagram.
No, he's not on Instagram. He doesn't do social media. You can only book in with him once a year via email, and he lives in a cabin in the mountains that you have to get a plane, a train, and a bus to get to his fucking studio, and he's still booked solid. So, you know what I mean? I bet he's not sat there going, oh, I wonder what the latest TikTok trend is. Like,
it's cool though, because he doesn't care.
No.
He does not care.
But he spent a long time building a clientele.
And a solid thing at work. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But I mean, go online and try and find some of his portfolio. Mm-hmm. I could name you all of the tattoos of his that you could find on Google because they've been there for 15 years.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to see his up-to-date portfolio.
Yeah. You'd need to get a plane, a bus.
Aye. But do you need it? No, you don't, because he's built that thing where everybody knows it's fucking Philip Blue.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
That is what you want.
Like, half of these people, do you know their names, or do you just know them as that dude that does that in fucking 6 hours?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, it has got harder to remember. I'm terrible at remembering who people are now because of social media, because you don't...
It's all the same.
You know, you used to... You know, if you found them in a magazine, you would, like, then try and hunt down more of the work and you would start to get to know people. But now it's just...
But I mean, at the other end of the things with following and stuff like that, there are tattooists out there that do have big followings that are killing it every single day and that aren't posting reels as well.
But the thing is, like, have you noticed that some of the big tattooists that are successful on social media don't play any of the games?
None of it.
They're not hashtagging.
Yeah.
They're not buying anything. They're not following any trends. But they have but then they've built a genuine following as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to, you know, this is the thing. You can have a following with substance. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that all following is empty.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's not.
Yeah.
There are people that have, that's because they've taken time and they're focused on the work, and it's the work that carries them through it.
Yeah.
Not the, you know, whatever it is, the trend, or like some of them, man, some of these trends involve none of the tattooing. Yeah,
even, well, I mean, like the biting. You've seen the biting thing where people, they'll bite their skin or something and they'll tattoo it.
Yeah, that one's fucking...
Like, how ridiculous could you get?
Yeah, there's that one. There's some of the what was that? The healed... the squeezy one.
Oh, why does everyone touch heel tattoos?
Yeah,
like feels them up.
Like we all think it's not real. It's like, like we know it's real. You've just edited the fuck out of it. That's the problem. Is not that we don't think it's there.
It's weird. Could you imagine if your client walked in and then you just start like, right, I need to get a video of that, and they go, all right, Sam, no worries, and then you're like that.
I remember watching Jack Mosher, who anybody that's been tattooing for like 15 years or so will know is like a total legend in Japanese tattooing. Has done this released all of these books that were like the Bibles of Japanese tattooing at one point. Every tattooist had them. Watched him tattooing a hanya on a girl's back at the tattoo jam, and he got so far into it and he stopped, put his machine down and just started fucking massaging this girl's back. And like, he was a big name at the time, and there was probably like 20 or 30 people stood around watching him tattoo, and we're all stood there, and one person just went, "What you doing?" And he went, "Oh, you know, I just feel like if you massage the ink into the skin, it just like helps it settle in a little bit more." And it was funny just watching like 20, 30 people all just go, "Nope."
Like a 27 mag isn't going to put it in. Like.
Yeah. They're just all going like, "Yeah, we thought you were cool, but that's just a step too far." And now with like every trend, why is nobody going, "That's fucking weird"?
Yeah, we might need to start doing that. We might just need to start commenting on stuff.
Yeah, well, have you seen
we
that?
Actually do keep our mouth shut.
Have you seen that guy? Is he called Alex Coulter? The guy with like the curly hair and the glasses, the American guy that remixes people's reels where they're doing weird things, and he's like,
"Oh, right, yeah."
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like the one, what's that one where people that do blackout, where they get the leftover ink and they pour it all over and just rub it in.
Yeah. Again, like what's
like, yeah, like your thumbs can put something in that a 27 mag can't. Like, tattooing would be amazing if you could put it in with your thumbs, wouldn't it? Just like.
You go with like black thumbs at the end of the day.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh. God, this was supposed to be more.
I swear I've not had it in my bum. Like.
This was supposed to be a more serious subject than it's turned out to be.
But that's fine. That's fine. We need to make light of this because it is sort of funny to see how people are acting as well. Like,
it is, yeah. I mean,
we look at stuff on a daily basis and go, "Here, check this."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's just some of it's just fucking cuckoo, man. Like, I get promoting yourself and finding new ways to do it, but like sometimes.
Just message it in.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, like everybody should have that voice on their shoulder that just goes, "You're being a dick." Like
yeah,
don't do it.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Like I don't think I've ever successfully been able to do like a soapy reveal video. Like, I never know how to broach the subject with a client. I'm like, can we just like spray loads of foam on and wipe it off? Other than the odd client that goes, "Oh, have you seen those fucking soapy reveal videos?"
Right, yeah.
Today's the day. Today's the day.
Oh shit.
Like fucking get the fire hose out, like foam you up.
Sorry mate, I'll just thumb that.